We met because of a mutual friend, Liam. He wasn't someone who caught your eye at first glance. No designer suits, no flashy car, no magnetic charm. Instead, he had a quiet presence. The kind of person who held doors open without making a show of it, remembered the little things you mentioned once in passing, and actually listened when you spoke. Truth be told, I nearly bailed on our first date. The night before, he'd sent a simple message, looking forward to tomorrow. Let me know if anything changes. No pressure, just gentle sincerity. I rolled my eyes, thinking it all felt too soft, maybe even boring. I tossed my phone aside. Still, I went. He'd made a reservation at a cozy Italian restaurant, warm lighting, inviting aromas. I arrived in heels that already ached, expecting passable pasta and an uninspired conversation. But Liam caught me off guard. His questions showed real curiosity. He spoke sparingly, listening far more than he talked. At one point, he noticed I was shivering and discreetly asked the staff to lower the fan without making a fuss. The evening felt natural, like sinking into a warm blanket after a draining day. No mind games, no masks. Just comfort. But even then, I wasn't convinced. He was thoughtful, dependable, kind, but he didn't have that reckless spark I'd always chased. That unpredictable, electric energy I thought love was supposed to have, the kind that thrilled me, but often ended in pain. Still, we kept seeing each other. One date became 2, then 3. I found myself anticipating his messages, the way he'd send me a song he thought I'd like, or remember that I take my coffee with extra cream, no sugar. Little things. Thoughtful things. But I held back. Part of me resisted, afraid of getting too close to someone so steady. I was clinging to this rigid image of what love should look like, and Liam didn't fit the mold. Then came the night he took me to a rooftop restaurant. The view was stunning. City lights twinkling below us, soft music floating on the breeze. He arrived in jeans and a plain shirt. Still himself. Still genuine. He pulled out my chair, complimented me with a smile. "You look stunning." I could have just smiled back. Let the moment live. Instead, I said something I'd regret. "You're not really my usual type," I blurted, trying to smooth it over with a laugh. "But you're amazing." His face changed. Not dramatically, just slightly, like a candle flickering in a draft. The warmth in his eyes dimmed. He nodded, barely smiling. "I get it," he said softly. He asked for the check, left his drink untouched. The rest of the night fell into silence. I tried to brush it off. "I didn't mean it in a bad way," I said, reaching for something to fix it. "You're just different from what I'm used to." He looked at me, calm, clear-eyed, but resolved. "Maybe that's exactly the point," he said. Then he stood up, paid the bill, and left. No drama. No raised voices. Just a quiet exit, leaving his glass half full and the night heavier than before. I sat there stunned, flushed with embarrassment and confusion. I told myself he'd taken it too personally, that I hadn't meant to be cruel. But when I got home, he was gone from everything. No messages. No updates. No trace of me in his life. It was like I'd been erased. Maybe I didn't matter to him at all. Or maybe I mattered too much. The days that followed weren't what I expected. I thought I'd move on easily, find someone who checked all the boxes, someone bold, intense, and exciting. But instead, my mind kept going back to that night. His face. His silence. The echo of my own words. I kept thinking about how he always showed up, with quiet care, with real effort, and how I'd kept him at a distance, never letting him fully in. That realization hit hard and stayed heavy. I didn't push him away because he lacked something. I pushed him away because deep down, I didn't believe I was worthy of the kind of love he offered, steady, sincere, and without conditions. I had spent so long chasing chaos, mistaking emotional turbulence for intensity, that I saw his peace as boring. I had grown used to being overlooked, so when someone actually paid attention, noticed the small things, made me feel seen, I didn't know how to accept it. Liam didn't fit my usual pattern because my pattern had always been pain disguised as passion. I only knew how to love through pursuit, through trying to prove I mattered. But Liam, he was already there, fully present, grounded, consistent, and I had no idea how to receive that. Instead of leaning into it, I pushed him away with the worst kind of honesty, telling him in so many words, "You're good, but not enough." I meant it as a compliment wrapped in truth, but it was a rejection, plain and simple. Weeks later, I saw him again, across the street, walking beside someone new. She was smiling, lit up from within, and he looked relaxed in a way I'd never seen. Genuinely happy. I paused at the corner, pretending to scroll through my phone while my stomach twisted. He didn't notice me. Or maybe he did, and just kept walking. That moment burned more than I expected. Because I knew she was getting everything I had been too afraid to receive. His quiet warmth. His full attention. The space he always made for someone he cared about. I told myself I'd reach out, apologize, try to explain what I'd really meant. But what could I say? I had spoken with honesty, and he had listened. That's the part that hurts the most, not just that he left, but that he believed me. Words matter. Especially the ones we throw out too quickly, hiding behind a smile. That night, I lost someone rare. Not because he gave up too soon, but because he finally recognized his own value. He didn't leave in anger. He left because he knew he deserved someone who saw him clearly. And I showed him I didn't. So he's gone. Not just out of reach, but out of my story, in a way that feels final.